College School of Law, 12 News, and the Jackson Area League of Women Voters presents the Mississippi Mayoral Forum, creating a vision for tomorrow.
Well, hello and welcome to Mississippi's Mayoral Forum here on 12 News. We are partnering tonight with the League of Women Voters of the Jackson area to bring you a frank discussion about our cities and our future. Good evening, everyone. I'm Byron Brown with Willie Jones of the League of Women Voters. Thank you for joining us live here on 12 News and here at the Mississippi College School of Law Auditorium. Now here's Willie to introduce our guest.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We are joined this evening by 4 leaders from across the metro area. Mayor John Horn of Jackson, Mississippi, Mayor Tim Taylor of Canton, Mississippi, Mayor Willis Thompson of Vicksburg, Mississippi, and Mayor Richard White of Byron, Mississippi. We appreciate each of you being here to share your vision and your ideas with us tonight.
And now to lay out the purpose of this panel, here's Margaret Barnes, President of the Jackson Area League of Women Voters.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Byron Brown and WJTV for co-sponsoring this event with us. Additionally, I would also like to thank Dean Anderson and the Mississippi College School of Law for allowing us to use their facility. I would also like to acknowledge the mayors that have already been introduced. I thank you for joining us here tonight, and all of you that are here as citizens and watching on television. The League of Women Voters firmly believes that the freedom to vote is essential and is nonpartisan, and it's an issue that should unite us. We stand for the values of diversity and inclusion within our community. Our goal is to foster a culture of equity and belonging for all. Our co-sponsorship of this program reflects our understanding that citizens are eager to engage in their local governments, and they want transparency, accountability, and access to information. We wholeheartedly encourage everyone to take an active role in your local government and empower yourselves through education on public issues and to advocate for the issues that are important to you. Hearing from our mayors tonight is a fantastic opportunity to build trust and confidence in our local government. When citizens are well informed, they are more likely to participate, whether it's voting in elections or getting involved in civic activities. We are here tonight because the League supports a responsive and effective local government. We have 4 mayors that have joined us here tonight. And let me be clear, the League of Women Voters is proudly nonpartisan. We do not support or oppose any political candidate or party. Each and every mayor in the Tri-County area, regardless of their political association, was invited to engage in tonight's discussion. More specifically, all mayors in Hinds, Madison, and Rankin counties with populations of 2,000 or more were invited. And we are absolutely thrilled to have the mayors that accepted our invitation here tonight. We hope that the insights shared on essential topics such as infrastructure development, public safety, public health, and economic growth will be helpful to you. And now I will hand the program back over to our moderators and thank all of you for joining us here tonight and showing an interest in our community.
President Barnes, thank you very much. And let us begin. But before that, mayors, let's give you just a brief introduction for all of you. And Mayor Horn, give you 30 seconds just to say something to the viewers who are out here and welcome them to this program.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Byron and Willie Jones for hosting this event tonight, and WJTV, as well as the League of Women Voters who have put this event together. It is important that you know what the issues are and that you know how your locally elected leaders are going to respond to the issues. In this time in which we live, I think that we find that everything is going back local. We have a lot of turmoil and a lot of angst at the state levels and around the country and also at the federal level. But it's the local leaders where the rubber meets the road. And I think that it's important that we put a focus on local leadership, and I think that's where our leadership is really headed right now.
Mayor White?
I would say that it's our mission in Byram certainly to work in partnership with our community and the people in our community, enforce the laws and preserve peace and reduce fear and provide for a safe environment for all our people in our city. And that's one of my main topics.
Mayor Taylor?
Yes, as Ms. Jones said, and she talked about some significant subject matters. And in the city of Canton, we understand where we're going. We know where we've been, we know where we are. Now we're trying to lay a roadmap to where we want to go. Look, we all know politics is about who gets what and when do they get it. The who will be the people, the when will be the people that they put forth to represent them and lead them and go out and get the things that's needed for our particular city. So we call the city of Canton the city of lights. And what we're doing now is we're making it brighter, putting brighter lights back into a place that could go dim, but under this new leadership and administration, we're going to work very hard to bring the due process to the city of Canton, for which is sincerely due as we go forward.
Mayor Thompson?
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to just say thank you for the opportunity to come here and sit on the panel with such a distinguished gentleman here. Don't take it lightly. I think it's a great opportunity to come and to brainstorm and to share ideas, and not only give our ideas, but learn from one another. And I always think that that's a great opportunity to represent your city in that capacity. And there's some good things to say about each city, but each city has their distinct challenges. So coming together and discussing ideas and opportunities is a great idea, not only for us, but the viewing audience. So again, I just say thank you.
Our first question tonight deals with public safety, and we'll begin with you, Mayor Horn. Talk about the challenges of public safety in your city and what initiatives you are putting in place to measure success.
Well, as we all know, Jackson has a number of challenges from a public safety standpoint, but our numbers show that we're headed in the right direction. We have, at this point, 47 homicides in our community, but this time last year we had 88. So we're headed in the right direction, but one homicide is one homicide too many. We're in the middle of searching for a new police chief. We're doing a national search. We're also looking at ways that we can craft a new way of doing things within the police department that emphasizes more sworn officers on the streets. We're going to lean on the federal government to help us get to those numbers, but also we know that we need better equipment, and we have to use technology as a means of doing more police work and putting a technological solution in place that accounts for the fact that we can't have policemen everywhere.
Mayor White?
Yes. The part I like the best about what's going on in our city is that the FBI crime data reported that we're one of the safest cities for 24 and 25 in our area. My police do a great job. We have been blessed with a lot of things going on. We're one of 4 911 centers in Hinds County. We got everybody. We got a full load of workers now, policemen and staff, and I think we're going to be even doing a better job. Our police came up with the Blue Dogs, which is a summer youth program, which I think is one of our best things we got going. We'll be doing that again this year in the spring. And I think it's important for our police to get out and certainly meet the people, and we spend as much time we can and have people with us to certainly be there in any kind of way we could as far as community outreach and events like that.
Mayor Taylor?
Yes, we sit at the cusp of Madison County, and the surrounding cities that surround us financially are very well off. So we got some roads to make up. Look, we're looking at an investment in flock camera systems to put throughout the city. I sit and talk with the chief of police maybe a month or so ago. We set a goal that I wanted at least 10 police officers by December the 1st. They're halfway there. So the challenges are there. And what we're trying to do is get in a position to handle 2 components going forward. Not just in Canton, not just in Jackson, the state of Mississippi, but all over the United States. Two components. One component we're going to stay prepared for, and that is that good component. But with the good comes the bad, and that's what we're beefing up for, to be able to take it on, and yes, continue to serve and protect our constituents.
Mayor Thompson.
Yes, the question was how important is public safety in our cities? Public safety is very important because we understand that we want the citizens in our city to feel safe. And public safety means we relate it to economic development. We relate it to the quality of life. And when we don't have safe cities, it's going to be difficult to provide those things for the people that we want to live, work, and invest in our cities. We got challenges. We have staffing challenges, and we live in a different time than we lived in 10, 20, or 30 years ago. So you got people now that don't want to go in the area of law enforcement because our communities are a lot more dangerous than they were maybe half a century ago. We're in a different time, so we have to keep a focus on public safety and what we're doing. We're implementing technology because we understand that, like the mayor said, that officers can't be everywhere. But to obtain that technology is costly. So there's another challenge there that must be overcome. But public safety is vital in every community. And it's a challenge to us all to address those issues and bring just resolution to them.
Mayor Horn, you have been having listening sessions when it comes to selecting the police chief. How much of that, what you're hearing from the citizens, are you going to use to decide who the next police chief will be?
Well, first of all, we're having listening sessions both in the community and within the police department because we feel that their voices need to be heard. We plan to winnow our search down to 3 finalists, and the comments made at our public meetings will be factored into our consideration of those 3 candidates. We know that our police department needs some upgrading. We need to be more data-driven and how we make decisions about our crime fighting. We know that we need to be more community-focused as it relates to that. And we're hearing that from many of the citizens. There's some interest amongst some of the attendees that we need to get a police chief from within. There's also some consideration that we need someone with a fresh take on things who might not be from around here. So we're going to factor the comments that we're getting into vetting those final three candidates, and hopefully we'll get the right guy.
Willie?
Emergency preparedness is a major concern for all communities. What plans do you have for enhancing emergency response and ensuring the safety of all residents in your city? Mayor White.
Yes, okay. So we just had a new precinct on our west side of our city. It's a small area, about 1,000 square feet. And it'll be an opportunity for at least 2 policemen to work there and do their reports, but it will also be an opportunity for us to do fingerprints for our city and things like that. But we were blessed to have a company that's going to be providing that for us for that side of the city, which that's something I'm really proud of. And of course, there's a lot of things that we're trying to advance our technology to solve a lot of the things that are going on in our city as far as crimes and that kind of stuff. So my police chief's doing a great job.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes, as you know, in the city of Canton, we are saturated with water. The flooding that goes on in the city of Canton, along with other things of nature that come about. Now, what we're trying to do is put together a task force to identify shelters if that need comes, and to have the type of equipment and products that we need to help our citizens in the event of a calamity of that nature. So what we're doing is partnering up with Madison County Emergency Management Agency and getting the needs and a checklist together so when these things come about, we'll be just as prepared as we were with other situations that's coming about. Water is a main draw to the city of Canton, the flooding, and we're working on that as I speak. There are 2 watershed programs going on, one in the county, one in the city, and we have engineers working on this in a due diligent way to make sure that we're prepared for any emergency situation that comes our way.
Mayor Thompson.
In Vicksburg, Warren County runs emergency management for our county, so the city partners with emergency management. And in the case of a emergency, they open the incident command, and we just combine resources and decide the best way to deliver those things to the public. But a big part of being prepared is prevention. And one of the ways we do that is communication with the public. In times of emergency, we need ways to disseminate information to the public as quickly as possible so we'll know what to do, when to do, where to go for resources. And we utilize the technologies that we have to disseminate information faster and more efficient. So I would say the key to that is prevention, and we do that through effective communications.
Mayor Horn.
Thank you. We're upgrading our fire stations, and one of the biggest upgrades is a $2 million early alert warning system, the funding for which we received from Capital Complex Improvement District. It's the first project that CCID has done outside of its footprint, or it includes its footprint, but it also is going citywide. We also are looking at pre-selection of responders in the event of a calamity or a major disaster or a storm, so that we can hit the ground running a lot faster than what we are able to do without that pre-selection. We're also looking at flood control. And one of the biggest projects for this area is the Rankin-Hines Flood Control Project, which we're hoping will get approval from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers very soon. I think December is the cutoff date where the Corps Secretary is going to have to make a decision about whether or not we get a $221 million allocation for flood control in our community. We think that's a game changer. It will solve the potential for a major flooding in Northeast Jackson as well as South Jackson. And also it will help us to do a lot of, on top of the flood control, economic development within our capital city, which I think is dreadfully needed.
Mayor Horn, we've seen in the first 90 days of your leadership that it doesn't matter what the procedures in place, you can put those things in place, but you got to be in the community with the people. You got to build trust. People need to know that you're there even beyond the procedures. How important has that been for your administration and for your strategic plan moving forward, and how have you built that into your administration?
Well, we know that we have to respond to the community, and we know that coming into this administration, we had the challenge of restoring trust and accountability in our capital city, trust and accountability in our city government. And so we've been in the process of putting the right team in place, but also getting out in the community through our constituent services, through attending a lot of meetings personally, as well as getting our communication ramped up a little higher than it's been in previous administrations. We know that we have to have a comprehensive plan. This city has been flying by the seat of its pants for a while, and we're in the process, at the end of this month, we'll have a market value analysis completed, the first draft of it. We're also doing a comprehensive plan that we'll build from the market value analysis, and that will be ready after the first of the year. But we're using task forces from all over the city to help build that plan of action for our comprehensive plan. And we know that there are some opportunities that we have right now. And so rather than waiting on the comprehensive plan, we know that we've got to deal with blight. We know we have to deal with economic development. We have to deal with housing, affordable housing in particular. We have infrastructure challenges. So our slogan is Jackson is Rising. And this time toward the end of this month, we hope to have a Jackson Rising light version that we can put in the hands of corporations as well as foundations that have an interest in Jackson.
Thank you.
Economic growth is crucial for our cities. What strategies are you pursuing to create jobs and attract new businesses? Mayor White?
That people that could see our city realize that things have changed in the last 10 years. We've been blessed by businesses, but I think one of our main things that we depend on is our Chamber of Commerce. In fact, they do a great job with all our businesses. We have good turnouts for our chamber meetings. We encourage people to be a part of our chamber. We have people in Copiah County. We have people in even my chamber and Mayor Horn's people got together, and we're all members of each other's chamber because we have people right on the line that we certainly visit and we have coffee with. So economic development and job I'm a business guy. That's what I do, and I've been blessed to have a couple of different companies, but we need to attract all the new businesses that we can, and I'm excited about that. And we got a new restaurant in town right now, Jack's Family Restaurant, and it's doing real well, and I've had a lot of great comments. But I think that's the main thing I do is promote small business. And we have some small businesses and we have some big businesses. And we also sort of play off of the Jackson's, their deal down there on 55 South where they have a couple of new companies coming in, and we have an opportunity to help with things they want questions about.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes, the same thing with us and what we're doing. Look, I'm old enough to remember what a shotgun house is. And with that shotgun house, my mother would always say, if you didn't clean up no room in the house, you clean up the living room. City of Canton is a living room. We're the county seat of Madison County. So what we're doing, we're taking a fundamental approach and we're cleaning up the city. If you come to Canton right now, you're going to see a difference. We've been working hard at cleaning it up. Once you clean it up, it becomes attractive. Once it becomes attractive, people are going to be knocking on your doors. In the last 7 days, I've had at least 17 developers to come to the city of Canton and talk to me. There's an interest rising in the city of Canton off of this exit we call, and which is well known, Exit 119. We are preparing ourselves to do business. We got a lot of land up there. We know industry-wise, we're okay. We're looking for that commercial business. We're looking for that business that's going to bring those sales tax dollars and those increases. Now, we can't compete at this point with our surrounding neighbors. We're too far behind the 8 ball, but that doesn't mean we're not going to try to meet the challenges. So, number one, clean it up. Number two, become attractive enough, fix our school system, build our police department, because no matter what you do with economic development, if people don't feel safe, they're not going to come to your city and do business. So we're going to take a fundamental approach, and believe me, I do believe in my heart that we're going to get there.
Mayor Thompson.
I think you begin by starting with the basics. Like the panel just said, you invest in infrastructure, you improve public safety, you also offer incentives where you can. I think we should focus locally on local entrepreneurship and offer opportunities to the people that are doing business right here in our cities. You know, it should start there. We should work to create opportunities. Start a business resource department is where we're doing in Vicksburg. Well, one of the things that I'm working on, want to offer resources to local entrepreneurship and those that have businesses right here in our city so we can create opportunities so we can grow our economies locally. And one of the most important things, we have to work on workforce development. We need a skilled workforce. One of the things we're doing with the Vicksburg 1 School District, they have a career academies where students are learning vocations in high school and leaving high school with an AA degree. We partner with those type of things so we can build our workforce internally and locally and create opportunities within our cities.
Mayor Horn.
As has been mentioned, if people don't feel safe, they're not going to bring their businesses to your community. So our goal is to establish the city of Jackson as one of the safest communities in America. We have a long way to go, but the 1,000 miles begins with the first step. So public safety has got to be important and emphasized. We got to deal with the stabilization of our government and the restoration of services and delivery and the accountability of city government to its bosses, which are the taxpayers. We also have to deal with better partnerships with our fellow governments, the county, the city, the state, and the federal government. We have been working on that. In fact, the county and the city just signed a memorandum of understanding where we have agreed to work together on particular issues. In this case, the stabilization of our infrastructure, pothole repair. The city just today, or has on its work session today, but will be voting tomorrow on a partnership between the Mississippi Development Authority and the City of Jackson. And in fact, the state MDA office is going to loan us a project officer at 50% of his time to the city to work on economic development priorities. We also know that we've got to eliminate blight. We have a serious blight problem, particularly in South Jackson, and we are identifying resources right now where we can go and attack that blight and clean up our city. We have an issue of 6,000 or more tax forfeited properties in our community that have got to be dealt with, and we're working with the state to try to make that process of elimination of that blight and those tax forfeited properties a whole lot easier. We're also helping trying to stand up a workforce development center because Hinds County is the only county in the state that doesn't have its own workforce development and training center. We're going to change that. We have 9 opportunity zones in the city of Jackson. These are federally recognized zones where incentives for developers are attractive, and we plan on utilizing those opportunity zones to help do economic development and put businesses back into our capital city. And we also expect that we're going to be standing up some enterprise zones, which offers additional incentives for areas of the city that are challenged with development. We want the entire city to have the same flavor, the same vitality as Fondren has, as Eastover has, as the district that Eastover has. And I think that there is an opportunity for that in downtown, in West Jackson, in South Jackson, in Northwest Jackson. We also are looking to utilize the fact that we have amassed over $125 million to deal with infrastructure improvements. Our 1 cent sales tax is offering about $10 million in road resurfacing work. We have $75 million, $29 million that we have to match. The federal government is coming up with the other $46 million for a total of $75 million in infrastructure projects. And this past Tuesday, we signed and closed on a $40 million bond issue to deal with infrastructure. So for those small businesses that are looking for opportunity, one of the ways that we're going to deal with our economic development is putting folks to work and providing contracts for small contractors to help get a lot of this work done. We've got to emphasize that in order for this city to grow, we have to do small business development. We also have to turn to the return, number one, to skill development. We have 100,000 jobs, skill-level jobs in this state that are going unfilled. So workforce training for plumbers, electricians, data technicians, cable splicers is something that we plan to focus on. But also we have to focus on the future. AI is the future, and we're looking to deal with opportunities where we can increase our footprint on artificial intelligence types of jobs, because that's the wave of the future. And skilled labor is also the wave of the future, because finding a good qualified plumber or electrician nowadays is a lot tougher than it used to be.
All right, thank you very much, Mayor. We have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation here with the Mayor's Forum of Mississippi here in a few minutes. Well, thank you for watching here on 12 News. We'll be right back after this break.
The Mississippi Mayoral Forum, creating a vision for tomorrow. The Mississippi Mayoral Forum, creating a vision for tomorrow.
And we are back live from the MC School of Law here in downtown Jackson. Mississippi's Mayoral Forum is brought to you by the League of Women Voters of the Jackson area, and Willie Jones has our next question.
Small businesses are the backbone of local economies. How can your leadership promote and expand small businesses in your community? Mayor Horn.
Said, we understand that small businesses are the backbone of a community, and we're in the process of putting together initiatives to allow for more small businesses to do business with the city, first of all, and by that token, what, as I said earlier, we're looking at $125 million in infrastructure projects. And we want as many small businesses as we can lay our hands on and local businesses as we can lay our hands on to participate in our recovery of our infrastructure. We also want to encourage organizations like Jackson Water to use more local small businesses in the restoration of our wastewater system. We also know that a lot of small businesses may be good at what they do, but they may not be good at doing the books, or putting a business plan together, or putting a marketing plan together, or paying their taxes, and so we're trying to put together a clearinghouse in partnership with organizations like Hope Enterprise and Hope Credit Union to be able to help those organizations by creating an umbrella where those services that are needed while they're out doing the job are covered by someone who has the expertise to assist those small businesses. In Jackson, we have a situation where less than 5% of our local businesses are doing business with the city of Jackson. We want to change that. And so the other thing that we're looking at is we've got an opportunity for partnerships with organizations, partnerships with foundations and corporations for which Jackson checks a lot of boxes. And we want to use those relationships to leverage more resources into our city where small businesses can be empowered and better utilized.
Mayor White.
We have been blessed in our city by the expansion of small businesses. In fact, a lot of our businesses are small. I happen to own one. But we support all local businesses, certainly, and like I said a while ago, we've done a pretty good, outstanding job of our Chamber of Commerce. And I know when I was, I know Clinton's have got a great chamber too, and I know that the chamber, if it's run right, and you have that opportunity for people to get together and talk to each other, that there's a lot of things can happen between just leadership of the community businesses. So I think that's one of our main things, is to certainly bring people in to be a part of our city. And we've been blessed, and it's working out really well for us.
Thank you. Mayor Taylor.
Small business and competition. Those are the two things that push this particular country to be the country that it is today, especially after that Great War, World War II. Well, after the Great War, the Great Depression, and World War II. We boomed to some degree. we had monies to loan and give away. And all I can say is go back and look at that Marshall Plan after World War II, where the monies were, but yet we were still struggling in areas in the United States. I agree that the competition status of different businesses, and especially small businesses that serve as an incubator for larger businesses. And this is what we're going to focus at. Of course, all three of the mayors here on this podium, their cities are larger than the city of Canton. So some of the things they have in place, and they can cherry pick from to some degree, we don't have that advantage, not yet. But as we stay consistent and continue to grow, we'll be able to look at some things in a different way and look at it from a bigger scope. Right now, we're rebuilding to some degree and going through a renaissance to some degree so that we too can be a very competitive city and our small businesses will do well.
Thank you. Mayor Thompson.
When I was on the campaign trail, at one of my events, I talked to a local business owner who had been in business a long time, and I asked him the question, what can I do to help more people like you? And the answer was simple. It was help educate, and that was just from holding a conversation. We talk to those in business. We work to become more of a business-friendly city. We help promote when we see something that's good, shout it from the rooftop. Use your influence to help businesses in your community. I think we can also streamline the permitting process, one of the ways we can help. It might be a zoning issue. If we take the time to communicate and talk to the people in our cities, we may find some simple ways that we can be a support to those that are trying to do business in our city. Our local chamber just put on a entrepreneur boot camp, and it was just a 6-week camp, but they made it competitive, but it was very educational on the things that you need to do to successfully operate a business. Now, most of that time was spent writing a business plan. Well, we have a lot of people in our cities have excellent products and service, but may not be as business savvy to move their business to the next level. So I thought there was an opportunity and a way to allow people that are interested in being entrepreneurs to learn. Some may call it just basic concepts to running a business, but it's an educational component that can help support small business in our communities. And again, I'll say one of the ways to do it is to work to become a more business-friendly city.
Another important piece of a community life is public spaces. And what initiatives will you pursue to improve parks, trails, and other public spaces? We'll begin that one with you, Mr. Taylor.
Yes, at this point, what we're doing, we're about to embark upon a process to revitalize all of our parks and the few walking trails that we have. We're going to invest money in them because we know that our community is getting health-oriented. They're caring more about themselves in this day and time. And also, our constituents are getting older. Just a few years ago, I was a young man, but I'm approaching 64 years old real quick, and probably age a little bit quicker by the time I'm through being mayor of the city of Canton. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to a lot of things that are going forward. And those parks in the city of Canton, they were a haven for me growing up. I was able to participate in many different sports. So those things are not out of sight, and they're definitely not out of my heart. And we're going to put monies where we need to get them revitalized. We're looking at a plan as I speak to upgrade all of our playground facilities with new equipment, with ADA accessible equipment, so that everybody gets the opportunity to enjoy what we're going to put in place. So these things are close to my heart, and believe me, we're going to push very hard to get the necessary things that we need.
Mayor White?
Just sitting here thinking that we just passed a 2% sales tax on restaurants, and it was overwhelmingly voted in, and we've been doing that for 2 years now. We've just had a contract for a 4-field soccer field. We're big in soccer. We got 150 kids involved with our soccer right now, and we also that money that we're going to be using will help do that, and we've already got that planned, and we plan to have some baseball fields. We're running a little bit behind everybody else. We're not quite 100 years old yet. We shut down right in the 1800s, and then we come back as a city, and so it's a lot of exciting things happening, and we're so glad that people decided to go along with this. It's just been a perfect deal. We've got a new park that in fact, our first park we rented from, it was 16 section land. We just signed another contract for that one with Hinds County Schools, which I'm grateful for that. But we are adding some new parks in, and we're starting on our soccer fields right away. We had a family give us 55 acres near our city, right in the middle of our city. So that's where it's going to be. We're excited.
Mayor Horn?
Well, we're working to reimagine our parks and our recreational activities and offerings. We know we've got to clean up our parks. Some of them are in pretty bad shape. Some are in really good shape. But we want every park in the city of Jackson to be a place that welcomes people into those environs. We also know that we've got to deal with offering more recreational activities and more things that are fun to do, especially for children. And that's why we support the activities at Smith Wills Stadium. The Hank Aaron Sports Academy is located there. We're also supporting the ARC down in South Jackson, where a faith-based organization, and in this case, my church, New Horizon Church, operates the ARC, which offers a lot of activities for young men especially, and young women for that matter. What's going on at the Children's Museum is really, really exciting. We have the makings of a destination at that space. We have the Natural Science Museum. We have the Mississippi Children's Museum. We have ballparks. We have a space where we can put soccer fields and other kinds of outdoor activities, pickleball, that sort of thing. And just the other day, it was put an agreement was signed where Wildlife Fisheries and Parks is going to turn over the old LaFleur's golf course, LaFleur's Bluff Golf Course, to the Children's Museum, and we're trying to put together a major complex there. We also are supporting Eric Dampier, a former NBA player, who is trying to put a sports facility of major impact down in the South Jackson area. Well, we're also doing a market value analysis, as I mentioned a minute ago. And that MVA is going to tell us, how do we right-size Jackson? We are in a city where we have a city the size to accommodate 250,000 people, and we have 144,000 population. So that MVA is going to make some recommendations of, do we need to right-size Jackson for the number of people that are here? Is some of the property that is where housing used to be, or where dilapidation currently is, does it need to be turned into a green space? Do we need to put some urban farming initiatives together to repurpose some of that land? Or do we let it go back to nature? So the market value analysis is going to lead us in that discussion of how do we right-size Jackson, and what do we do in terms of all this wonderful land that we have here? How do we maximize its use for recreational purposes, for feeding people in terms of urban farming, or how do we just let it go back to nature? So we're looking forward to seeing what that MVA says to us.
So, Mayor, do we need to move the zoo or not?
The ship moving the zoo has sailed. We have three choices with the zoo. We can either move it, and that ship has sailed. The opportunity was to put it over where the LaFleur's Bluff golf course is now. They've made other decisions about that, so the zoo is not going to be able to go there. The other thing is to close the zoo. We have to pay $1.2 million a year to maintain the animals at the zoo and keep the upkeep of the facilities. We're bringing in $1,200 a month. That math doesn't work. But the other thing about the zoo is that it's in an opportunity zone. It's eligible for new market tax credits. It's on the National Register of Historic Places, so it qualifies for both state and federal historic tax credits. We might have the incentives available to redo the zoo, and also to expand the zoo into some other things that would make it a better destination than it is right now.
Mayor Thompson.
I agree with what the other mayors have said. I think we first start by taking care of what we already have with park improvement plans. We need to take care and clean up our green spaces and playgrounds, and we need to go after funding that allows us to build more walking trails and bike trails and play spaces in our communities. I also think we should keep our communities clean. Is one of the initiatives that we're going after here in Vicksburg. Next month, we're going to have a community cleanup day. We're going to partner with Waste Management. We're going to put dumpsters out at strategic parts of the city, and everybody's going to be involved. We come and help keep the city beautified and clean. And when we take the time and initiative to create these kind of initiatives, they bring people in your communities together. Community gardens do that. You put a community garden in the neighborhood, and it brings people together to not only learn more about how to grow their own foods and vegetables, but also just the camaraderie of it. So those are the type of things, initiatives we're going to do as it aligns with parks, playgrounds, green spaces. We have 2 parks that we're working on now. We have a donor in our community that donated land, and we're going to build a riverfront park to enjoy the riverfront. And we're also going to build a civil rights community park that we already have underway now to commemorate those that played a vital part in our history in a neighborhood. So I think and the thing that I found to be one of the most critical items that were the most helpful is just engaging the public, meet with the public, find out, get ideas from the people that are in your communities. It's always been insightful.
Before we wrap up, our final question, we hear from a lot of our voters about the quality of life, keeping our homeowners here in our city in health and wellness. So when we talk about parks and trails and public libraries, how will you all in your cities prioritize these things in your budget? Because our voters believe that these things are just as essential as economic development, as creating businesses and job placement and all those kind of things. Yes.
Well, our library is behind our city hall, and we moved it from where it was at. It was having major problems. And so we did that, and it's been doing real well, and we're hoping that we'll be able to move it to a different place. We've got a new building coming available that belongs to the city, and we're going to try to move them there. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on in our city, and so many things. But I think that the main thing here is that we continue to do the things that people want us to, and that's some parks that we don't have. And like I told you a while ago, we're doing some soccer fields as we speak. We've already put out the contract for that. But there's other things in our city where we're already doing some of the things. We just need to do a little bit more to it. But,
Mayor Horn, the quality of life issues of these spaces?
Yeah, well, in terms of our libraries, we know that we have to reimagine our libraries. When we came into this administration, we realized that a lot of our libraries are either closed or are in need of capital repairs. And so we're trying to first reimagine what we want these libraries to look like, and then go find the resources to pay for what we want them to look like. We also have a museums trail program that is really catching fire. We have a walking, jogging, biking trail that starts over at the Lakeland Drive area, goes into downtown, and eventually will wind up at the Margaret Walker Alexander Research Center Museum on the campus of Jackson State University. We also know that we've got to deal with tech hubs. Young people are excited about that. We have to create spaces where they can flourish in this new technology, and a woman by the name of Nashley Cephas is helping us to lead the charge on establishing these tech hubs. And we also know that we cannot put all of our young people in jail who might be in trouble. So we've got to reimagine programs for them, particularly around workforce development, but around making them feel as if they matter. So many of our young men in this community are in a state of mind where it looks like they don't think they matter, or they don't think people think that they matter. There's an organization called Magnolia Mothers Trust And we just established a verbal agreement just last week where they're going to invest $1 million into single female heads of household who are in public housing to help empower those women out of poverty and help them become better deciders about what they need to prioritize in their lives in order to lift their families up. And we also know that we've got to empower more local organizations that see a need for children in their community. They're working on a shoestring. I think there's a role for the city to play and how those organizations are supported. And lastly, we've got to create an environment where this place is fun. People see Steve Jackson as a place they want to live. The quality of life is good. There are things to do. And one of those things is downtown. We're establishing a space at our trains at Union Station that is geared towards the youth. We're going to develop an area right across the street from there that will also be made of old container cars that will be repurposed into a youth hangout. And we're looking at reimagining Fair Street, doing more in partnership with our partners like Mississippi College School of Law that needs more housing and better housing in downtown, but also needs more places where young people who are going to law school don't wind up leaving Jackson or leaving Mississippi. 40% of all the graduates that we have in our state, once they graduate from college, within 2 years, they're out of Mississippi. So we've got to deal with putting things in place that attract these young people and make them want to stay in Jackson in particular, but in Mississippi as a whole.
Thank you, Mayor Horn. Mayor Thompson, what is your long-term vision for your city, and how will you include residents in the decision-making?
Well, you include residents in your decision-making by communicating with them, talking to them, offering opportunities to get their ideas on what they want to see in the city. My long-term vision for Vicksburg is to help Vicksburg become a place where people would live, work, and invest. You know, we need to look to adequately answer that question. I think we have to look past 4 years. We got to look 10 years, look 15 years. And what that entails is that we have to have comprehensive planning on a true vision for the city of Vicksburg or any other city that we're talking about. We have to be able to look ahead and see what's desired, see what's needed, and see what we need to have to allow the city to prosper and to grow economically. So that not only includes planning, but it includes public buy-in. It includes meeting with the business community. It includes meeting with residents. It includes the faith-based community. It includes every sector of your city that make it run. So we have to be able to be open to collectively coming together as a community and deciding what's the best path going forward.
Thank you, Mayor Thompson. Now, last minute, Mayor Taylor, your vision for your city.
My vision for the city of Canton is a very bright vision. Although I agree with Mayor Thompson, looking long-term, we're going to do it one day at a time. We know where we've been. We know where we are. And it's going to take some time. But we're going to, every day I go to work, the one thing that I do, I'm appreciative of where I am. I look back many years ago, and some of you may be too young to remember this, but when I graduated from high school, we had what you call memory books. And in my memory book, I wanted to have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. I got 4 girls. I thought I was going to be a lawyer, but I had some health problems with my eyes and didn't go through with that. And then at the bottom, I said by the time I was 40 years old, I wanted to be mayor of the city of Canton because I thought I could bring something to the table, even at a young age. Well, I'm 22 years late because I'm 62 years old now, but yet we got here. When we talk about these gospel songs, the one thing that I can emulate, and my chief of police, if you ever get the opportunity and you're up in Canton, he's a great singer. I'm not. But I can stand back and say, Lord, I made it. Now that I've made it to that destination, what is my vision for the city? To build it on top of building it, to be inclusive and to rehab race relations. As you know, where our city has been. And you don't have to go no further than some of the local news. And one book I would ask you to read is The Coming Age of Mississippi. That gives you an idea of where Canton was once upon a time. You can go back a little bit further than that, because when I look at the motto, Canton, a rich history, bright future, we got to make that coincide and work for all people as we go forward. On the campaign trail, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you very much. And we thank you all for joining us tonight for this League of Women Voters Mayoral Forum. We appreciate you being here. Make it a good night, everyone.
You may be